Okay. Oh, that's weird. Uh-oh. Okay, let's try again. All right. We are going to be playing some MTGO using the new all access code that they dropped the other night. Where are my sounds? All this new computer stuff is a lot of adjusting back. So we're going to go with that. Okay. So I'm deciding between playing a little modern and a little legacy. I kind of want to play a little legacy infect because I have the cards with the all access, which is really convenient. However, I have RC Denver coming up, and it's probably a little better for me to be testing for that. But I kind of do want to just play a little bit of Infect because I really enjoy it. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. Adjusting things a little bit. I'm going to be cutting Seeds of Innocence. I'm going to be adding another Force of Vigor. really difficult. What do I have to do here? Format, set. Force of Vigor. Do I have to redeem this? Display. Quantity. Not collectible? Collectible. Okay. Don't know how I did it, but we got there. Okay. Let me just consult my list. I'm going to start with this, and then I think I'm going to attempt a bit of modern Merfolk, because that's one of the decks I'm considering for Denver. It's a shame there's no Triumph of St. Catherine on here. Still, but that's been a problem. Let's play with a Gaia's Blessing. Not for any particular reason that I think it's fantastic right now, but 2. I think I'm going to cut the blue blasts for the time. Just play with this sideboard. Alright, so I'll build the Merfolk deck in a bit. So we're going to go to Legacy. We're going to have Infect ready. Don't play a League. I think I have... What do I have? Oh, okay. So it's set to 1, so this way it only shows you things that you have. Okay. So I have 13 event tickets. I have 200 play points. So I can go into a Legacy League. I'll use 10 tickets. I'll use play points. All right. Okay. Play points. We're gonna play the match. Okay. Having some trouble getting used to the new setup still. Yeah, I haven't been playing a lot of Magic recently. Only played a couple events over the past month or so, I would say. Playing a bit of Arena with Standard. That's been fun. Just been doing other stuff and haven't really been enjoying Magic as much as I have in the past, but it's about time I take a break anyway. This All Access is really nice, though. I wouldn't have downloaded Magic Online on this computer yet if they weren't offering that. And so this is a good opportunity to jump back into streaming with all the new stuff set up. Okay, so here we are. I win the die roll, so I'm going to go first. Oof, nothing's all set up. Okay, there we go. This hand isn't super impressive. It's a lot of lands, not a lot of selection, not a lot of interaction at all. So I'm going to mulligan. On the play, if one of these was a Glistener Elf, I think I would keep it because I would have the opportunity to just attack with Elf and Big and Berserk. So we're going to mulligan this. This is a lot nicer looking. I think I'm going to lead on Tropical Island Elf. I'm going to put a land back. So we're going to keep. I'm going to put Misty on the bottom. I'm just going to lead Tropical Island, Glistener Elf. If I get one attack in, I might hold the Blighted Agent for hopes that I will draw a Force of Will. So this way I have a blue card to pitch. Urza Saga. So leading on Saga makes me think that this is one of those colorless combo decks. Ooh, okay, it's lands or some sort of lands variant. Yeah, it's lands. They discarded at the Thespian stage. So this is a matchup that I think I can race pretty decently. They're going all in on... Ooh, that's really good against me. That's fine, though, because I can still slowly kill them. Get one attack in, use an Embiggen, and then next turn use an Invigorate. Because that's 5 plus 5. Alright, go to my turn. Savannah, not bad. So I think what I'm going to do here, the Blighted Agent's probably never going to enter play this game. However, I'm going to be able to play Savannah here, holding the Verdant Catacombs just in case. I'm going to go to attacks. Going to attack. During blocks, I will cast Embiggen. So we're going to be dealing 5 infect. I can't cast Invigorate here because I don't have the mana to pay for the sphere. They played a Sphere of Resistance on turn 2. It's a shame that the images aren't loading. At least we got this Mox Diamond. They might be still having server issues. Okay, we're going to let that resolve so they can make a blocker now. Which is not great for me, so maybe I should have played the Blighted Agent that turn. So I might be playing the Blighted Agent this turn so I can get in the following turn with the Blighted Agent Invigorate. If I draw Berserk, though, I'm in a good spot because I can just kill them. Okay, end step, go to my turn. Second Invigorate. So we're going to play Catacombs. I can attack. They're going to activate this to make a token regardless. So I don't think I want to attack into it and blow an Invigorate on that. I think I'm just going to hold back, sacrifice this, go get the Tropical Island, make blue, green, green, cast Blighted Agent, and then just kind of yield through the turn because I'm not going to be doing anything. No attacks. I forgot it. Pauses there. No attacks. They're going to make their token. It's fine. They're going to maybe make a token or copy. They're probably going to use Stage to copy Saga here. And then what they go find, I'm not sure. They could go find... Pyrite Spellbomb would be pretty good, but I don't think they have that in the main. They could find a Spear just to try and pressure me back and hope that I don't have more pump spells and that I'm depending on Blighted Agent to attack for 5 turns. Okay, they're floating mana. Expedition map, so what are they going to find here? Oh, probably Glacial Chasm? The single expedition map in this deck is really good. Maze of Ith, okay. So I have a decent amount of draws here. I can draw Legolas's quick reflexes. Okay, so they're crop rotting too. Can't do anything about this. They could be getting the Glacial Chasm here just to give themselves 2 layers of protection. They're on really low resources and no... Well, they have this. Oh, okay. So they're going to get a Tabernacle. So I can just pay. When they block here, I can use Invigorate to trade Invigorate with the token, and then the following turn... Because they're going to Maze of Ith this. Okay. So I think I can invigorate my way. Yeah, how do I pay? Green? Force of Will, not a good draw. So I attack, they maze this, and I use Invigorate to trade with this. Okay, I think that's fine. I gotta get through this somehow. And they're really low on mana sources at this point and ways to participate in the game. Okay. There's the block. This frees up their mana because now they don't have to pay for this, but target a creature, this one, target pay 1, target an opponent, they can have the life. So we're going to go to 5. Token's going to die. They're going to maze the Blighted Agent. I wonder if I could have played Chicken with the Stack a bit and... interesting. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I was able to do that. Make them make the first move on mazing this. So I think I messed up there. Now they have to pay for this, so they're just going to use the diamond. Now if they play another artifact, the construct trades with the elf and the invigorate. Okay, go to my turn. Green, yep. Yes. Green, yep. I don't think I have to manually tap the land, but okay, so I have a thing for Force of Will, so I think I'm just going to run it back and this time try to play Chicken properly. I think I actually have to make the first move here. Yeah, I think I messed this up. Misunderstanding how these work. Yeah. So you can deal one there. If I invigorate here, they're going to maze this. If I invigorate here, they're going to maze this. So I can put them to... I think I just have to let this happen. And try and save this to draw a Legolas. Also, this frees up my mana for the Glistener Elf. So then I can ponder. Okay, so they're going to maze the Blighted Agent, which means I get to invigorate here and keep 2 creatures. Okay, target my elf. Pay 1. They could crop rot me here. Oh, no, they can't. You can gain life. Okay. So now they lose a blocker, and now they're just actually on a clock. Huh. Okay. So then I guess I was supposed to do that the first time and let them make the first move. Bog me, I guess. Which is fine. We don't have an Uro or anything in the deck. Exploration, which is kind of good here when we're choked out with the sphere. They're just going to eventually get there. Go to my turn. Okay. Pay with the green. Yep. Yep. Pay for the elf. It's kind of nice because now I get to just kind of keep attacking. There's the Legolas. Not going to use that yet, but we are going to attack with everybody. I don't know what they're trying to do, so we're going to attack with these. I can't use the Legolas here, but it's nice to have just in case. So they're probably going to Mazavith. Oh, they Mazavith nothing? That's interesting. Okay. So now I have Force of Will up with Ponder, and I can pay for the 1 with Tropical Island. They must have been afraid to just die to Invigorate if they make a move there, because 8's the same, I guess, as 7 at this point. Alright, so they drew a card, played nothing, passed. Green, green, I'll pay. What are we doing here? So now we're crop rotating. Okay, so I'm going to force here. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to enter combat. I will attack with everyone. So they're going to go to 9 because they're going to Mazavith one of the creatures. I think that was a pretty good Force of Will there. Because I think at this point they try and get Glacial Chasm, and I have to keep them from doing that. Alright, cool. Let's go to sideboard. Okay, what are we bringing in here? No Flusters, no Plows. Guy's Blessing is for a different matchup. Library, maybe. Definitely the Force of Vigors. I'm thinking about the Forest because we can get it off of a Ghost Quarter, and we can find it and be a little resistant to Wasteland. So what do we want to cut? I think this is a matchup where Daze is pretty poor. So I definitely want to cut some amount of Dazes. Maybe all of the Dazes. Just bring in the Force of Vigors. I kind of like Library here because the matchup is a little bit plotting. The Infect creatures are pretty good. I think the Pump spells are pretty good. Quick Reflexes blocking our blocking for the Maze is really good. So it's a little disappointing I don't have a way to interact with lands very well. Not in this build of the deck. So it might just be 4 forces for 4 Dazes. Do I want the basic forest? Probably not yet. Maybe I want the library. What do I cut? They don't cast a ton of spells, so maybe I cut a Force of Will. It's not really something I want to find 2 of. And with as much selection as I do, or with as much selection as I have, I should be able to find a Force of Will reasonably. Maybe I just leave them all in. I can always ditch them if I don't need them. It may be just as simple as 4 forces for 4 Dazes. I need the library, I think, to offset the loss of cards. They're not really blocking, so maybe I want to go down on an agent. Running out of time. Okay, we'll just cut one of those. Lower on the counter magic, go higher on the destructive removal. Okay, so this has 1 land, but a Noble Hierarch and a Glistener Elf, and a pretty quick kill. So I think I'm going to keep this. It's a little iffy. I've got that Force of Will again I was talking about. Okay. They're boarding into Swords to Plowshares as well, I think, which is something I kind of forgot about. Sphere? Life from the Loam. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if my sideboard should be a split of 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Surgical Extraction. I don't know how good single Surgical Extraction is, though. Ooh, they got the double diamond hand to start again. There's that Misty. Okay. Okay, and a Pithing Needle. What are we going to name? Are they going to blind name the only fetch land in my hand? This doesn't even seem very good in the matchup. If they name the correct fetch land, though, it's really good for them. I wonder if this was a mistake that they shouldn't have left in, and they kind of made a mistake by forgetting to take it out. And they're just going to blind name Misty. If they do name Misty Rainforest here, then my best draw is going to be a Force of Vigor, or like a dual land, which is still not the worst. This kind of thing is also what makes me want to not play Misty Rainforest in this deck at all. They named Wooded Foothills, which is really interesting, that they picked that one out of all of the others. Okay, so we're going to go to my turn. All right, so we're going to... They have 1 card in their hand, so I think I'm going to lead on Noble Hierarch. No, I'm going to lead on Glistener because it has the highest upside. I think if I was looking to play a longer game, leading on Noble Hierarch would be correct here, but I'm looking to play a shorter game in this matchup, and also my hand is very... there's a lot of reward to me untapping with Glistener here because they just die. Well, they die in a lot of ways because I have 3 Invigorates, but I also have the +1 extra from Noble Hierarch. So even if one of these Invigorates didn't exist, I think this is still the correct one to lead with. And I have Force of Will blue card for... What is this? Maze of Ith, Wasteland. So I'm going to Force of Will this. So this way they don't play the Maze of Ith on me. If their last card is Swords to Plowshares for the Mox Diamond on this, using the Mox Diamond on my Glistener Elf, then that's fine. I can't really stop that. Okay. So we are going to attempt to kill them. Attack with Glistener Elf. Getting exalted. We're going to let them declare no blocks. I'm going to target my elf, gain some life. It looks like they don't have a response. They can gain some life. 10. They're going to take 10. All right. Next match. It's not a bad one to start on. Pardon me. But yeah, going off of the list I'm playing right now, I don't even know where I would put Triumph of St. Catherine. I'm not following anyone either who would tell me. Where's that card helper? Did it disappear on me? Does it only show up in a game? I think I'm going to be skipping my week. There it is. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to be skipping my weekly modern tomorrow to play some of this. All right, what do we got here? We have a Tropical Island, Brainstorm Days, Ink Moth Agent. All right, so this isn't bad. I think I'm going to keep. I think I'm going to not daze their first threat to try and protect my Blighted Agent. So I think I'm going to lead on just Windswept Heath so I can't get Wastelanded. Kind of gives up some brainstorm equity in that I don't have a shuffle effect then, but hopefully I can find one by the time I need to brainstorm. Because all I'm looking to do is get to my turn 2 and resolve a Blighted Agent, using this to find a trop. Lead on this. Sorry, I've been sick a lot lately. I'm having trouble getting rid of all this stuff in my throat. All right, so they're leading on a Saga again. And a Voltaic Key. Okay, so this is definitely confirming that they're one of these Mystic Forge decks. Mox Opal. If they... This is going to make my dazes a lot worse, but I think I have to let them have this. And just daze what they're attempting to cast. Alright, draw. Misty. Okay, so we drew that other shuffle effect. We're going to find a tropical island. We're going to play this. Agent. Blue. Colorless. We're going to pass. Next turn, if they don't play anything dazable, I'm going to attempt to brainstorm and use my shuffle. Ancient Tomb so they can activate Saga. This is going to give them Metalcraft. That's fine. Manifold Key. So I think I'm going to let them have this. I'm going to try and daze the payoff. Alright, so we're going to take our draw step. Do I want to ponder here? I have a regular land to play, so I think I want to brainstorm. I'm going to ponder. None of these are particularly appealing. Back, back, back. Don't want to shuffle. None of those are fantastic looking, but I do think I want that Force of Will. So I'm going to take... Alright, well, I definitely messed up my click there. But it is what it is. So I'm going to get in for 5 here, I think. And it's probably for the best that I messed up my click. Attack. Block. Alright, so we're going to deal them 5. Trying to use all of my mana here. So that I can attempt to draw Brainstorm into another Embiggen for another kill. They're making another blocker here. They might be able to grow this high enough to kill me with an unblockable one. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't played against this deck at all, so I'm vaguely aware of what it can do. Not entirely aware. Alright, so another Manifold Key. Okay. So if I can daze their Monolith that they're attempting to play here, a Defense Grid. So they've played a land. They've played an Opal. I think I'm going to daze this. Because it's going to make my day... I can brainstorm the days away. So I think I might just let them have this. And try to just kill them with the Agent the following turn. I don't think I can win too long of a game against the 7/7/7/7s. Especially when they have a second Saga going. I think I need to make this game shorter. No blocks. I think I need to just focus on making this game shorter. Okay. Am I still recording? Okay, good. Sorry, I think my headphones died there. All right. So let's go blue. Cast a Brainstorm. It's not enough damage. So we're going to put back Daze. And Glistener Elf. Right? Yeah. Put those back. Play Misty. Fetch with Misty. Get a tropical island. Shuffle the deck. Brainstorm again. Found a Berserk. Will that get us there? I don't think so. I can play a noble attack for 2. Block one of the 7/7s. So we're going to put reflexes back. We're going to put noble hierarch back. We're going to play this. Going to go green. Go to combat. Going to attack. Put him to 7 with my exalted. If I can chump block one of the 7/7s, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Because I think they're going to be able to use the manifold key to make both of them unblockable. Because of the voltaic key. Oh yeah, they have plenty of mana now. Because now they have 6 mana, they can activate manifold key, 1 on each. I'll concede. Okay, so we're going to go to sideboarding. We're just going to bring in the Force of Vigors again. And what are they going to do? They seem like a Saga deck that wants to make a lot of mana and untap their rings and stuff. I don't know how good the dazes are here. Maybe I should be aggressively dazing more. And I think I want to use my mana. I think I can take 2 reflexes out. And because they're not a deck that's very high on removal. I think I'm going to leave 2 in though, because they could possibly be boarding into Dismember. And I think Daze is a little lackluster here, just because they have soul lands, so the Dazes are pretty poor. It's possible that I should have used a reflex to kill a token earlier, combining it with a Embiggen. Maybe I just want to cut both Dazes, leave in the reflexes. Maybe this is just a matchup again where Daze is pretty poor. I don't think I want Library either, so we're going to just go with this. Okay. Would I like to play first? Yes. Okay, so what do we got here? 1 fetch land, some pump spells, Force of Vigor, and a Brainstorm. This doesn't have a threat, and I think this is a matchup where I really want to put a threat on early, especially with this many pump spells. So I'm going to mulligan this. This has Trop Agent, but also Force of Vigor. So we're going to keep this. I don't have anything to do with the Force of Will because this Blight Agent is too important for getting the game over with. So we're going to keep this. I'm going to put the Force of Will on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to play my Tropical Island, and I'm going to pass. Petal's fine. Legolas Reflex here, going to be really nice. Okay, another Petal. It's going to be really nice as something green to pitch to Force of Vigor, but also kind of insulate myself. That's fine. I wonder if they're going to play anything with this, because then I can Reflex Force, or Force pitch the Reflex. Manifold Key, okay. They're going to be able to go up to 5 mana with this, because they can activate the key target here. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to target this and this. And I'm going to exile this green card. I haven't cast this yet. Okay. So we're going to go with that. They have nothing in play. They have 1 mana. So then they're going to play Voltaic Key. That's fine. End step. All right. So now we have 3 mana, so we're going to be able to play through a defense grid if they manage to play one. Which they haven't played a land, so that might have been the extent of their mana sources. So we're just going to play our Blighted Agent. We're going to pass. They might miss on a land here. Okay, they have an Opal. I was going to say, if they miss on a land, they might just concede. But they're not, which I think is a good idea for them. I'm going to... Just to be mana efficient, I think I'm going to play all of the cards in my hand. We're going to attack. I'm going to let them declare no blocks because I'm trying to get into good habits for this platform. We're going to pump there. We're going to deal our damage. Second main, we're going to play our Trop. We're going to play our Blighted Agent. Okay. Just to use all of our mana, I don't think we're going to have to play around any removal with the Embiggen. Besides that, it only gets it to a 5/5, which still dies to Dismember. So I'm just trying to use all of my mana here. They're on a 3-turn clock now because we're going to put them to 7, then we're going to put them to 9, and we're going to put them to 11. So they've played an Ancient Tomb, so they drew a land. Opal's still not active. They don't have anything to do with the tomb, it looks like. So we're going to untap. We drew a Force of Vigor, which is great. We're going to go to combat. Okay, so we're paused here, so it makes me think that maybe they can do something. Unless they just have priority and they can do something on the Voltaic key. Alright, so we're going to put them to 7. If I draw a land here, I can hardcast the Force of Vigor. If I draw a green card, I can pitch cast the Force of Vigor, or just kill them because it's likely a pump spell. So they're going to go to 16, they're going to pay 4 mana, they're going to play the 1 ring, which is something I can't destroy with the Force of Vigor. So they can draw a card, use Opal Key, untap, draw 2 cards, which is pretty good for them. This is why the deck is so good, because just repeatedly activating the ring in 1 turn is really, really strong. And the breathing room that just the enter the battlefield effect gives you is really, really good. Okay. So they're going to untap it. They're going to tap it again. They're going to draw 2 more cards. Going to go up to 4. They have... Okay, so there's a Lotus, Petal. Okay. End step. Okay, we're going to go to my turn. Ponder. Okay. So they have protection from everything. So I can use this turn to cast my Ponder. Got a Pump Spell, a Force of Will, and a Pendelhaven. So we're going to put the Force back, the Pendelhaven back, and then the Embiggen back. I'm not going to shuffle, and in their upkeep, I think I want to tag the Key and the Opal. Because I can kill them the following turn with the Pendelhaven underneath. So let's stop. Okay. So we're going to go to that. We're not going to attack. Yield until end step. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put this on the stack. Maybe I want to wait. Maybe I don't want to do anything right now. I think I want to wait to potentially hit something like a Forge or a second Key or an Ensnaring Bridge, something like that. There's 7 cards. They have a bunch of tombs. 6 mana. Paradox Engine. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to hit. Make some mana. 3 mana. Casting Serum Powder. So yeah, I think... so they have no mana in their pool. So this is where I think I want to tag Key Engine. Alright, so we're going to tag... I'm going to tag the Key and the Engine. We're going to exile this. So they have 1 mana, 2 mana with the powder, and they have 1 ring activation. They've played a land. So they can tap the ring. The tombs are also kind of working against them here. I don't know if they're going to be able to do okay with this. They have 2 mana though, so they can play a Monolith. Just trying to think, because I have the Pendelhaven right underneath on top of the deck, and that's going to be 1-2, and then that'll be the 3rd poison to put them from 7 to 10. There's a Key. Okay. Another Key. Oh, okay. They don't know. That's right. They think they have a turn. Unless they have protection and I didn't know it. Okay. So I think I'm just going to run this back, attempt to have a fast hand, and go from there. I don't think I want any Veils. I don't think I want Gaia's Blessing still. I don't think I want Daze or Flusterstorm. I think they can just play through it too well. Okay. So they're on the play, or they're deciding. All right, what do we got? No threat. A lot of pump spells and protection. We have the Force of Vigor, but I don't think this hand clocks them, and I think I need an early threat. So I'm going to mulligan. No threat again, but we have Brainstorm, and we're on one fewer card. We have Invigorate Berserk as well. So I think I'm going to keep this one. We're going to put Misty Rainforest back. Force of Vigor feels like really good in this matchup, where I just feel like I can keep them from doing anything important. We're just trading 2 cards for their 2 cards. Keeping them from getting set up if I have a clock is really good. It's just really powerful. Crystal Vein, okay. There's a key. Not the fastest start. Hoping to draw Glistener Elf. Invigorate's pretty good. So I'm going to lead on the Foothills in case I have to fire off a Brainstorm. Also, it helps bluff Daze a little bit. Upkeep. Yep. I'm hoping they can use the Crystal Vein to make 2 mana, and then I can Force a Vigor something. City. Okay, so their mana is really fragile here. I'm going to let the Grim Monolith resolve. I'm going to Force a Vigor this. Okay, I'm going to pitch and Invigorate because this and this are a combo. So it'll just kill them. Puts it to 5, then makes it 10. So we're just going to Force a Vigor these 2 things. Their mana is very fragile now because they played a city, which will destroy itself when they play another land, and the Crystal Vein already, to get a big bonus of mana, is pretty fragile. Okay, so they're going to go for 4 mana. They're going to play a ring. This is a good way for them to dig out of this problem. So I think I'm going to sacrifice my Foothills here. I'm going to attempt to Brainstorm for blue card Force of Will. Brainstorm. No Force of Will blue card. However, I do have Agent and Noble. So I think I'm going to put land Pendelhaven back. I'll let this resolve, and my next turn is just going to be set up. And yep, we can let this happen. So next turn I'm going to draw Pendelhaven, play Blighted Agent off the Pendelhaven. So the protection here doesn't matter very much because I'm not going to be attacking them next turn, and I'm not even threatening to attack them next turn. But I do have them dead on the following turn if they don't play another ring. Okay, so we're going to go into my turn. My second turn. Pendelhaven, blue, green, Agent, and I'm going to pass. And here's very much me kind of letting them do what they need to do. So this way, and seeing what happens and where everything falls. Okay, so they floated 2 mana and played an Ancient Tomb. So now they're going to have 4 mana, and they're going to play a Mystic Forge, okay. This might be another instance of them hoping they have just 1 more turn, and it's probably all they can do. And it looks to be that way. They have no mana available, so we are going to... can they do anything? So I guess I'll pump like this. Oh, they're F6'd. Tropical Island. We're going to invigorate. Target the agent. Give them some life. Berserk. Target them. Pay a green. Go to combat. Attack. Obviously not the best sequencing for me because I needed to wait for the Exalted trigger before using the Berserk to get one more point of power, but didn't matter. Again, another thing that's easier to kind of layer in real life. At least for me. I really like these all-access tokens they give out sometimes. It's been worth it every time I've bought it. Alright, so I am on the draw, it looks like. I've lost the die roll. Okay, this hand's pretty good. I have Invigorate Berserk, I have an Infect Creature, I have Noble Hierarch for something to do on turn 1, and I have a Daze. So I'm going to keep. Looks like I have a turn 3 kill. Only 1 Daze, which hopefully is fine. I think things are going to line up pretty well if I can untap with my Noble. Okay. Ancient Tomb, Sphere of Resistance, which is pretty annoying. Really good start on the play. So this could be lands, or it just could be prison. I can play a Windswept Heath to play around a what's it called? Wasteland. So I think I'm going to do that because I can't play my Noble Hierarch here because now it costs 2 because of the sphere. Hoping I don't get stifled. Also hoping for a little bit more information. Noble, if you can get it down, helps offset the Sphere of Resistance cost quite a bit. Okay, Crystal Vein, so it looks like it might just be the same deck. Or not the same deck because it has Sphere, but this just might be a prison deck. Non-creature spells cost 1 more, but that means Blade Agent and Noble are going to be safe. So that's fine. We'll let that happen. And we're going to draw. Alright. So another Blighted Agent. So I'm going to play Noble here. So we're going to sacrifice this. We're going to get a Trop. I think I'm going to play Inkmoth Nexus right now. Taxed only by the Sphere of Resistance, not by the Thorn. I get to play a colorless land here because I have another colored source right here, and I have another colored source come in. So they're going to have, looks like 3/4 mana, depending on how deep they want to go. 3. So they're trying to keep the Crystal Vein. Manifold Key. So what are they untapping? These kind of make it pretty difficult for you to go off with Mystic Forge and stuff, so they might still just be trying to untap things like the Ring. Okay, so there's that Wasteland I was trying to avoid with the fetch land on turn 1. And they're attacking my Inkmoth Nexus, which is fine, because that's the least valuable land probably right now, because I have Blighted Agents as my infected creatures. Okay, so we're going to say that's fine. So we're going to blue. We're just going to play a Blighted Agent, see what happens. They don't look to be in much of a rush because they're playing all these sphere effects, spheres and thorns. I'm not in much of a rush because I have a backup agent. I've got kind of the kill all rolled up. I think my best draw here is another mana source because I can use Invigorate, Berserk, and still have Daze Protection. Okay, so there's a Ghost Quarter, which hopefully they don't activate because I don't have the basic forest in the main. This gives me a lot of good information, though, because now I know to bring in the forest and that this is their game plan. Use Ghost Quarter's ability? No. Pardon me. Okay, combat. They have mana untapped. I'm wondering if they have just nothing to do with it, or oh, I'm not counting the 2 tax. Okay. So I want to draw a mana source, and I've not drawn a mana source. So I can just invigorate, put them to 6. Which I think this is what I'm... yeah, if I put them to 6, I can kill them the following turn with Berserk. To give them some life. Okay. So, yeah, because the following turn, I'm going to get an Exalted trigger off of the Noble onto the Blighted Agent, and then I can Berserk, make the 2 a 4, and kill them. Okay, so they have nothing to do, and I think they see that they're going to be losing. Okay, so this is going to be bringing in the Forest, bringing in the Forces, as usual. Do I want to leave the Dazes in? I'm kind of inclined to say no, once again. Not a lot of good matchups for Daze tonight. They have a lot of spheres, which makes these pump spells that cost mana a little bit more of a liability. I think I'm still supposed to leave them in, and I think I'm supposed to cut the Savannah this time, so this way the Forest kind of replaces it. And I think that's what we're going to go with. I'm not bringing in Swords Plowshares here. All right, what do we got here? 2 Noble Hierarchs, a Force of Vigor, 1 land, but we have an Infect creature. I think this hand's pretty decent, as long as they don't turn 1 Sphere me again, which is entirely possible. I think I'm in good shape, but I also have 1 mana to pay and Force of Vigor, so I can, in their upkeep, pitch cast. So I'm going to keep this. These are pretty good at fighting through the spheres, but also pumping the Blighted Agent. So I don't think this is too greedy of a keep. Reaching for a second water right now. Sorry, I'm still a little scratchy, as I keep reiterating. It's very frustrating. All right. Upkeep. In their main phase, there's Urza's Saga, one of my favorite things to attack with a Force of Vigor. Lotus Petal, great. Thorn, got it. Okay, that's fine. So this is tempting because I can still cast my Noble through it, so I don't think I'm going to Force a Vigor in their upkeep this time. I think I'm going to let them have a turn with the Saga. Actually, I don't think I'm going to. So here's this. I have a stop in their upkeep. I am going to Force a Vigor, Thorn, Saga, because if I give them a turn, they're going to be able to start making constructs. I have an unblockable creature, though. So maybe... what do I want to do? I think I need to insulate myself against Sphere of Resistance. So we're going to go get a Tropical Island. We're going to make a green mana, and we're going to play Noble Hierarch. And then we're just going to kind of go from there. I think that's how I lose the game, is if I get sphered out, because I think they have an Ancient Tomb in their hand, and they're going to start making constructs with their Urza's Saga. Yep, there's the Ancient Tomb. So now they're going to be able to make blockers, but this is fine because I don't need... that doesn't really matter because I have this Blighted Agent who cannot be blocked. So we're going to go to my turn. I'm trying to draw a land here. Brainstorm's not bad. I think I want to cast the Agent now. Because they're going to use this entire turn to make a blocker. This is a pretty good counter to that play. And now they can What are they going to do the following turn? They can't really use their turn in their main phase to make another blocker, because I think that's kind of pointless. So they're making the second creature. They're making a mana. Yeah, I think they accidentally clicked the second ability. So they're going to go find a 1 or a 0. Wondering what they're going to find. Opal. Okay, so they need more mana. So now they're going to have 6. And they have to cast a non-creature. Okay, okay, it's stacks. Of course, duh. Spheres and Thorns. So here's Lodestone Golem. So they're going to be able to clock me back pretty efficiently. No blocks. I'll take 4. Go to 15. I want to draw a land here, I think. Ponder's not it. So I'll attack for 2. And then in their combat step, I can Force of Vigor, pay 2, Thorn, and Golem. I was hoping I was going to be able to use Legolas's reflexes to get rid of a Golem. Can play a Noble, attack for 3, but then I can't Force a Vigor. So I think I'm just going to attack him for 2. Get my Exalted. Damage. 7 cards in my hand. Okay. So do I in their upkeep tag Thorn Golem? So I turn off the Opal. Do I just hope that the Thorn is choking them out as well? They can just post-combat play whatever they want. I'm going to do Thorn, Golem, pay 2. What am I pitching? They're not blocking me, so I'm going to get rid of the reflexes. Because if I draw land, I can play Noble and Biggin and kill them? Urza's Workshop is pretty cool. 12, play the One Ring. Nettle Cyst. That's really big. Okay. It's fine. So they can equip it and make this a 6/6, right? Paying some life. Metamorph. What are we making? Nettle Cyst. Okay. So now they can attack for 4. It's definitely a clock. Declare block step. Nothing. So now I think I need to kill them this turn. Oh, I can just, yeah, I just kill them because now they have no taxes. Okay. Upkeep. So we're going to make a green. We're going to cast this. We're going to make a green. We're going to cast this. Should be enough, right? Play this. Go to combat. Attack with Blighted Agent. Did I miscount? I miscounted. Okay. This is fine. I can chump block. Oof, that's huge. So now they have another artifact. It might not be enough. If they play another artifact, it's enough. Okay, they got this one. So I should have brainstormed there instead of miscounting. I think I could have won if I brainstormed. They drew 2 Nettle Cysts too. Okay. Combat. Alright. Next one. Okay, I'm running back the same stuff. They're an aggro deck though, which makes me kind of more interested in swords. But as you saw, they had construct tokens and nettle cysts, which removal spells I don't think are very good against. I think the Force of Vicars are going to serve the same purpose. And I just need to be a little more mindful that Quick Reflexes has a little bit more text in this matchup than I am originally led to believe. So we're just going to run it back. And we get to be on the play. So we're going to go first. I get to lead on a Noble Hierarch against the Sphere of Resistance deck, so I'm pretty into that. So I think I'm going to keep this. And I have a Ponder, so I can start looking. So I'm going to keep this despite the fact that I don't have a, what's it called? Infect creature. But the Noble Hierarch, a little bit more informed going into game 3, is kind of better. Not better, but pretty good. So main phase, I'm going to lead on a Wooded Foothills. I'm going to fetch, get that Tropical Island, make a green mana, and play a Noble. I'm going to pass. Next instant. Okay. There we go. Got that upkeep stop still. Just haven't turned it off. I usually don't. Alright, so what are we doing? Playing a Tomb and a Sphere of Resistance. Do I let them have this? Force with my force. I think the Noble just lets me care a little bit less about Sphere of Resistance. And stop. Okay. Drew another Force of Will. So I'm going to lead with the Verdant Catacombs here. I'm going to make blue mana, green mana. I'm going to ponder. I'm going to put this back, this back, this back. Would I like to shuffle? The ponder's pretty tempting. So I'm going to say no, but I just want the ponder. Because I'm going to be able to shuffle with this Catacombs, which is pretty nice. Okay. And we're going to go to my end step. I have Force Pitch Force using this, shuffling away the rest of the garbage, and giving me a mana to pay with. There's Urza's Saga. Okay. Going to be looking for a Force of Vigor here. 2 mana, 3 mana. Grim Monolith. I'm doing this regardless. They already played their land. So we're going to get a Trop. This feels like a trap to me to force. But I'm going to force it anyway because I gotta use some of this stuff. Just gonna hope that they have nothing else going on, but even then they still have the Saga. Upkeep. And I'm big in. We're gonna go blue. Ponder. So there's a Force of Vigor and an Ink Moth. Do I want to put a land into play here, or do I want to force them? I think this is a... I think I'm going to put this back. I'm not going to be able to play... I can't do both, which is why Brainstorm is so good. So I'm not going to be Force of Willing anything. I wonder if I wanted to keep that Ponder a little higher so I could Force of Will. But I think I'm going to cut them off of Shuffle No. I'm going to draw the force. Upkeep, I'm going to force them, hitting Saga Sphere, paying with the Trop. And I'm going to exile the... Embiggen, I think, because this is going to give +5, but costs mana. Maybe I exile the Invigorate. It's going to tap me out, but I'm hoping they just have nothing going on. Anyway. Main phase, unstep, upkeep. Alright, so I'm going to force this and this. We're going to pay. Alright. My plan is to kill them with Inkmoth Nexus. Inkmoth Nexus is going to go to 2/2 from the Noble Hierarch. So, Embiggen gives +5. Is it really any different? It's going to be 2, 4. I think I'm supposed to keep the mana efficient one. Because I don't think this is going to improve the clock at all. Alright, so they're on Tomb. That's also a consideration. Okay. Golem. Is that giving them life off the Invigorate is also kind of a downside. Play this. So they're going to put me to 12. Oh, okay. So keeping the Invigorate plays better against this like double stacks hand. Oh, they're gonna wasteland my Inkmoth? Oh, this is terrible. It's a good thing the next card is a Ponder then. I think they're deciding if they want to play around Legolas, because they did see me pitch that in game 2. I'll float a colorless, and I'll say yes. So, do they attack? Do I just want to get this off the table? Because I can block, invigorate, trade? Frees up my mana a little bit. Leaves me softer to... I don't think I can win this race though now. So I'm going to block. This is a really poor trade, but I'm going to have a lot of selection with that Ponder off the top. This Force Civil is kind of rotting in my hand, though. Giving them 3 life here when they're on double tomb is also kind of bad. Or it feels pretty bad to me. Really just wish I had a Legolas Quick Reflexes there. Second Lodestone. Crucible. So they're just going to wasteland me out. Okay, so we can try and mitigate that a little bit. Upkeep. We're going to ponder. See what we can find. None of those are really going to do it. Shuffle. Yes. Glistener Elf. That's what we're looking for. Or I guess as close as what we can get. What am I looking for now? I guess the basic forest. First things first is I needed to find a threat. So there's the wasteland from the graveyard. Ooh, they're going to be able to play Saga from the graveyard too. That's really bad. This one's not looking good. Metamorph. So are they going to make just a blocker? Okay. So here I want to draw Legolas, I think. They seem a little desperate. So I'm going to attack. If they block... That's interesting they didn't block, because if I went Invigorate Berserk, they just die. I don't know if they should have taken that point, but I'm going to trust them more than me. Alright, so they're going to strip. They're going to waste all of my lands. And they're at 5. So these tombs are getting a little tough. Okay. So I'll attack. Oh, well, looks like I forgot to attack. It's a little embarrassing. I didn't realize I was in the attack step and I was at the click my creatures part. Ooh, they have a thorn. This is tough. Pendlehaven's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to play Pendlehaven, I guess. We're going to go to attacks. So they played the Metamorph as an elf and have not blocked at all. I guess they're just planning on blocking the moment they need to. Alright. So there's the Wasteland again. Okay. Invigorate. Okay, so now I just want to draw a forest. Put you to 5. They're going to 1. They're making a blocker. So they're going to block. Is this the block movement? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. City. All right, so now they can use mana. So they're going to have 4 mana. If they play the ring, okay, Cyst. That's fine. Attack me for 4. That's fine. What can I draw here? I don't think anything yet. I'm going to see if they tap the Ancient Tomb. I don't think they're going to do it, though. One cool thing is someone played the One Ring against me, and they started using their Ancient Tombs and taking no damage. I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that prior to playing that game. That game it occurred in. So they're gonna go up to, okay. Playing a Metamorph. Making another Nettle Cyst. I'll concede here because I'm just so low. Okay. Next game. I think that one, maybe the hand just wasn't keepable. It just didn't have pressure. It was really good on the play against the sphere draw, but they didn't really have a good sphere draw, and I just didn't really have the Glistener for the Blighted Agent that I thought I did. Or that I needed. Not that I thought I did, I knew I didn't have one. Turns out my headset hasn't been on. All right, what do we got? No threat. So I'm going to mulligan this. I have a threat and a bunch of green cards, so I'm going to keep. I think I'm going to play Elf on turn 2 and hold up reflexes. And I'm going to put back a pump spell. We'll put back a pump spell. And I'm on the draw again. I'm going to lead on the Heath so I can't get my Trop wastelanded because I want to play this on turn 2. Volk. Okay. They're outbursting in my upkeep. And they have one card in hand. So here I will deviate. They have one in hand. I can invigorate. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to go to my draw step. So I'm going to play the Elf on turn 1 here. Hopefully they just kind of have nothing else going on. Because if I get to untap and go green source, invigorate, reflex, I get to attack, deal them 5, and also kill both tokens. Because I'm going to get 2 triggers from the Legolas. No blocks. Alright, looks like they might not have a whole lot going on in their hand. So we're going to play my Heath. I'm going to make my Elf big, give them life. This is to attempt, I'm doing this first, because if they try to use something like a Dead Gone here to kill this, then I get to just use the reflex to counter that spell and get that card out of their hand. So we're going to green, we're going to go reflex here. Fetch. Get another Trop. Reflex here. Go to combat. We're going to attack. We're pre-combating the reflexes too because we need this creature to... We need to have that have happened already for this creature before it taps. Yep, these two. We're going to go right here. And we're going to go right here. All right, so we're going to put them to 5. We're completely shields down here, which is really a bummer. But we have a backup infect creature now, so it feels a little less bad doing that. And now they have no opposing pressure. Looks like they've exiled a card. There are 3 cards in their hand. Oh, that's their draw step. Third card is their draw step. All right, so here's the fire. So they've used a Spirit Guide for mana, and they're firing here, 1/1. Okay, that's fine because now we have this backup creature. So if we draw land, Ink Moth, or a fetch land, we're able to play Blighted Agent with some protection, which is not super impressive. But it lets us continue to apply pressure. So here's an agent. I think they're F6'd, or whatever the one is that passes priority. Upkeep, main phase. They have 2 cards in hand, 1 land. So it looks like they've been leaning on Spirit Guides a lot, which I think this deck is kind of liked it, kind of known to do. I don't really want to give them too many more draws, so I think I'm going to play this Misty, which I shouldn't have played yet. And I think I'm going to Brainstorm, attempting to just kill them. So I'm going to put back Ink Moth and Berserk. We're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with the agent. We're going to let them declare no blocks. And then I'm going to use this to make it green. And we're going to be happy that we brainstormed there to attempt this kill. So they're going to Force of Will here. So they have 0 cards in hand. I have a Berserk on top. They're going to go to 6 poison this turn. And I still have some protection. Probably should have thought about my brainstorm stack a little bit more, because I just kind of thought this game was going to be over. But that's okay, because we have the Berserk, which is a little bit extra reach. And I can always shuffle. Okay, so they just conceded, so I think they saw how that game was going to go. So this is a great game for Flusterstorm. I'm not expecting them to attempt to Blood Moon me here. I don't really want to go Plows, I think. I just want to keep the Footfalls from resolving. It's not a Blessing game. It might be a decent Veil Summer game. I know they have up to 3 Brazen Borrowers. They have all their counter magic. And they might be boarding into some number of Mystical Disputes. So maybe I want the Veils. I'm going to keep the Dazes in. I think this is an interaction-heavy matchup where I don't really want to be going all in necessarily on a Berserk. So I think I'm going to cut the Berserks in this matchup. Not confident in that. I think I'm going to cut the Savannah and bring in the Forest just so I have some amount of insulation against a Blood Moon. The Flusters are definitely coming in. Not confident on the Veils, though. I think countering a Brazen Borrower on either side, or at least on the Petty Theft side, is a pretty good use of Veil Summer, plus having cheap interaction against this very plodding, cumbersome, expensive, clunky Cascade deck is a big benefit to what I'm doing versus what they're doing. So I'm pretty inclined to bring in the Veils. Any amount of something to fight over the stack. I think I want to trim and embiggen. And I want to trim maybe a Daze, especially on the draw. Embiggen can be pretty poor in multiples. Daze, I'm just not entirely confident in it on the draw, especially when they can pay with a Spirit Guide. It just feels terrible. I think the other 1-mana cards I brought in to fight over stuff on the stack with are just a little better. Okay. So this hand's pretty decent. I can fight over something with a Veil of Summer. It's mostly going to be protecting Glistener Elf with this setup of a hand. But I have a Daze and a way to deploy threat plus hold up interaction. So I think I'm going to keep this. I'm on the draw. It might backfire if they just go turn 1 Rhinos before I can put this into play, which they might do, because it also turns on their forces. This is a similar setup to what they had in the first game. Okay, nothing. All right, we're going to get this Tropical Island. We're going to stick this Elf. So I'm feeling a little better now that I have a Daze available. When I'm able to also have Veil of Summer available, I'm going to feel even better. Alright, so there's a basic forest, which is kind of making me think about Blood Moon a little bit. Looks like they might try and do this in my upkeep? No, nothing again. They might be waiting to attack and try and ambush me. I think I'm going to play Trop here, and I'm going to Ponder. Just look at more stuff. Kind of get a plan. None of these are particularly appealing right now. Shuffle my library. Yes, because I always mess up that input. Do I attack for 1? Yes, I do. Because I want to make them do something. And I also have to start chipping in. And that's going to be all. I can daze with the tapped Tropical Island. Okay, they're going to pitch. They're going to fire. How do I want to fight over this? I don't think I want to use something like a daze here. And I think I want to protect the elf. Actually, I have the Nexus, and I have another land. I think I just let this go and lean on the Nexus. They have Wastelands, which is a little concerning. Are they going to suspend a Footfalls? No, they're going to cycle. Okay. Seeing something like this makes me want to play Stifle. Alright, so there's the island they found. Combat. Go to my turn. Fluster. Great pickup. So I'm going to play the Ink Moth here just so I can get another Infect creature on the table. And I think I'm just going to take no further action. I have to remember, well, they're at 9, or they're at 1. So second pump spell does let me kill. And I don't need to find Berserk. This is kind of why I was interested in cutting the Berserk, because now any 1 mana spell will do it. 1 mana green card. Okay, so main phase, yep. Alright, we're going to pass. Upkeep, they're doing nothing. Combat, nothing. Main phase, nothing. Okay, so they didn't play a land either. So it makes me think that they have an outburst that they're going to try and end step on me. This is not my spot where I want to attack. We already chipped in for the 1. And I have a lot of other things I can do. So I think I'm going to brainstorm here. Probably should have played a fetch land prior. But, ooh, double reflex is pretty nice. I'm going to put back Misty. And I'm going to put back a reflex. Because I don't need to protect anything yet. I'm going to play this Foothills. And I'm going to hold up this interaction. This also lets me find a forest, which is nice. I'm probably going to fetch at their end step, though. Alright, so there's the outburst. Cascade. I think I'm just going to daze this. Do I want to daze it and just let them exile a card from their hand? I have a lot of lands, though, and I feel like I have to convert this daze somehow. And I still have Fluster. Ooh, did not expect that daze to work. Also gives me another land to play when I fetch this and shuffle away that Misty. Shardless Agent. feel like looking at revealed cards tonight. We are going to Fluster, target Crashing Footfalls. Same targets, same targets. Great. So you can have a 2/2 though. Fetch now, I guess. Look at a basic. Okay. I think I'm gonna just ponder here. Look for some stuff. Ooh. These are nice. Put this back. Put reflexes back. This back. Shuffle? No. Because I think this is what I want. So I'm going to make a green. Animate. Go to attack. Pump. There we go. This should be it. Ooh, force negation. So I think I just veil back. Okay. Okay, there we go. 2 rhinos. It's a deck that I think is pretty good. Didn't expect to win 2-0. Playing the permission deck definitely makes the matchup a lot more, I think, palatable. Otherwise, it seems a little difficult. Just putting 2 4/4s or a 2/2 and 2 4/4s into play is really good. It's really good. It's really fast clock, and you have a lot of very good cards. A lot of really efficient cards. Fire Ice is not terrible. You play Fury, you play Force of Will, Force of Negation. It looks like I am once again on the draw. It's a shame. Started off the night getting to go first twice. All right, what do we got? Not the most impressive hand, but I think it's fine. The Brainstorm's going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do, so I'm going to keep. We're on the blind. I get another draw, so. Hoping it's a spell and not a land. Underground Sea, not really great for me to look at. I wonder if it's Doomsday. Okay, so I got a little protection. So I think I'm just going to lead on the elf because I have a backup. If they're a more interactive deck, I'm going to kind of wish I had waited a turn to hold up reflexes at the same time. I'm wondering if they're going to Force of Will this. Maybe they're going to daze. Float 1 daze. Alright, they're going to daze it. I think I'm just going to let that go through. I think Force of Willing there is a little silly. No, I'm not going to pay. Oh, that's right. I have to tell it no twice. Okay. All right. So we're going to be leaning on the Blighted Agent a little bit more. There's a Wasteland. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. And that's fine. Still nothing really going on. I think this is a good spot to play Tropical Island, and I'm going to lead on a Noble. This is going to give me an extra mana to work with next turn for when I resolve the Blighted Agent. And I think this is a pretty good spot to be. This Reflex is going to be doing a lot of work. The Reflex is going to be doing a lot of work. This is an interesting sequence of plays where they're using the Wasteland when it's not going to put me to 0 mana while they have 0 clock. Makes me wonder what their hand is. So we're just going to make a blue, and we're going to make a green, and we're just going to stick this agent. I have Force of Will to protect. They're going to force me here. Okay, so they're on 3 cards in hand. I think I'm supposed to force their force here. Because I still have a backup Brainstorm to try and find something to do. I have a decent amount of mana, so I'm not really bottled into kind of like backed into the corner of Brainstorm needing to find a land. It's a Savannah, so it's not my best one. They're on 3 cards with nothing on the table. I have 2 cards with 3 things on the table. Misty, they played so they still have an Underground Sea in their hand. So I'm wondering if this is going to find a Volcanic Lightning Bolt, and they're just getting a little greedy here by not doing it on their turn. So we're going to go to my turn. Verdant Catacombs. Okay. I'm going to... I think I'm going to Brainstorm here before I play this Catacombs, because I can play around in Daze. And I think I just want to see what's going on. This also lets me play around a Bowmaster if I do it now. These are pretty good to see for me. So I'm going to put land reflexes back. I'm going to play this Catacombs. I'm not going to crack it, though, because I want the reflexes off the top. Because I want double protection for my agent. Because I think I'm going to be able to, at this point, cruise along on this agent to victory. Because this is a 5-turn clock, but this Embiggen is going to speed that up quite a bit. And I want to use the Embiggen the following turn, hoping that they play some sort of blocker. So this way the reflexes can clear off that. If they use a Lightning Bolt here, though, I will fire off the Embiggen. Because that is going to counter the Lightning Bolt and also get in for damage and use my mana pretty well. While also leaving my reflexes up. And if at any point I'm not going to need the second reflexes, I can just shuffle it away. So there's another Underground Sea, so they have an Underground Sea in their hand. Wonder what this is going to be. Are we just going to end step Brainstorm? Or do we have a main deck Fatal Push? Oh, they're Swamp Cycling, so I wonder if this is Scam. Okay. I might be able to get my reflexes to trade with a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Delta. So they're going to go to 17, I suppose, here. So they have another C in their hand, I guess. So they never brainstormed, right? Combat. Main phase. End step. Okay, great. So they're being very nice by not making me use my fetch land, so I get to keep this reflexes. Attack. We're going to attack. Get in for 4. Got a lot of protection up. The Legolas reflexes with the pump spells here also making it so they're going to have a lot of trouble clocking us back, because I can always kill their creature that they try to play to fight back. Alright, I'm sitting pretty. As long as they don't stifle me. So I think I'm going to use this whenever they commit some mana. Right, so there's that last Underground Sea that we knew about from turn 1. Snuff out. Okay, so this is where we're going to protect. It's awkward because they can't even use another removal spell this turn because it just has hexproof for the duration of the turn. Alright, well there I go, forgetting to fetch, but hoping it doesn't matter. Attack. Yeah. Just gonna do this now. Just gonna embiggen. Can't block. I'm also jumping the gun there and not doing it at the correct time. But that's okay. Okay, so it looks like blue-black scam. So this is a good spot for these Veil of Summers, obviously. And I think because this is a pseudo-Delver matchup, I do want these plows. The Embiggens here feel a little risky because they don't really protect against anything and they get blown up by Snuff Out pretty easily. What else? Berserk, for similar reasons, I'm also not feeling. And I'm kind of wondering if I just want to be kind of my own tempo Delver deck in this matchup, leaving in reflexes and dazes and everything, and just kind of moving a little more controlling, bring in my own removal, bring in some more cheap interaction. I don't think this is a matchup where I necessarily want Flusterstorm. So I'm just going to be leaning on these plows and these veils, lower on the combo angle for the pumps. For our pump spells post-board, we only have 4 Noble Hierarch and a Pendlehaven, and the 4 Invigorates, because it's tough to beat free. Leaving in cards like Force of Will and Daze, bringing in the additional interaction of Veil of Summer and Swords Plowshares. Leaving in all of my threats. All right, let's submit this. Windy night so far. I think after this I'm going to take a break, and I'm just going to call this short, brief Legacy League as the entire stream. Hoping to kind of skim over the technical difficulties I had early on. Okay, so what do we got here? We have some interaction, some protection, a couple threats, a ponder. I think our games post-board are going to be a little longer because of how we pivoted away from kind of being an A+B combo deck. I think I'm going to keep this hand. Hoping to just not get scammed. So there's an island and a brainstorm. I will let someone have a turn 1 brainstorm, especially when they just appear to be a scam deck, not a storm or doomsday deck. All right. Main phase, end step. Draw. Okay. So we have a turn 1 Glistener Elf, which I'm not really looking to expose my Savannah yet either. So this kind of works for me. I'm going to have Force of Will Ponder up, and I'm going to have a Daze up. And I think I'm just going to stick this threat. Also, I don't know if they're on Stifle. I don't think it's out of this world for to play around Stifle in some amount by fetching while they're tapped out. So here's the Glistener Elf. Delta. What are we doing here? So they're going to shuffle away the top card? Unless they want to keep it. They might save cracking this Delta. End step. We're going to play this pre-combat. So this way, I can't get dazed in the attack step when I attack with this elf into Orcish Bowmasters. So if they find Underground Sea here, Drown in the Loch. Not really kind of what, not exactly something I would expect. Also, notably very good against Inkmoth Nexus, considering the mana value is 0. Do I want to Legolas this? Or do I just want to daze it? I think I'm going to hold the daze. So, I think we're just going to Legolas here. This is a spot where Veil of Summer would be very good, by the way. So we're going to let that happen. And I think I am going to pump here while we do have the hexproof, so this way we can get in for our 5. It's going to let us get our chip damage in pretty easily. All right. And okay. They have 6 cards in hand. All right. Okay, they are attacking the Inkmoth, which I think is a good use of the Wasteland. Notably here, if they hit the Tropical Island, we would be in big trouble. So we're going to float a colorless. Also notable, Legolas is a good way to protect against Wasteland on an Inkmoth Nexus. If we did not protect in that fashion there, we would have been able to animate and then untap it with the reflexes and protect it and counter their Wasteland. Yep, so I'm going to let them do that. So we lost mana. We floated mana off that with the Wasteland on the stack. And then going into combat, we lost the mana floating. And that was just a notification for that. Okay, so here's a Fatal Push on the Glistener Elf, which is fine. I'm not going to fight over that. Black removal, notably very good against all of the pump spells. End step. Okay. So what are we going to do here? I kind of am inclined to just take it slow and play an Inkmoth Nexus again and see where we go from there. If they want to spend some time wastelanding the Inkmoth again, that's fine because we have a backup land. If they want to attack the Tropical Island this time, we have a backup land. It's fine. We can always ponder the following turn. So it looks like they're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to float a colorless again. This kind of helps. Floating the colorless here kind of makes it so they can't do too much in their main phase. Because I can always pay for a daze or something like that. Not that I think there's any benefit to them doing something in the pre-combat main phase. Okay. I think I'm going to play around a daze here by playing a land first and then pondering. All right, so we get a lot of good stuff. I think I want to draw the majority of these cards. I definitely want the threat, and I think I want the noble, just so I have more mana. I think I'm going to put the noble back on the bottom, though. And then the elf to hide it, and I'm going to put the brainstorm. I'm not going to shuffle. And I think I'm just going to pass here. I'm hiding the Glistener Elf on top, so this way, in case I get Thoughtseized or Griefed here, I don't have to blow a Brainstorm to protect it. Playing a tapped Sanctuary is a major sign of we don't have a lot of good stuff going on over there. I think they have a lot of removal and interaction in their hand right now, and they're just very afraid to tap out for anything. So we're going to draw this Glistener Elf. I'm going to play him. The second he resolves, I'm going to get priority, and I'm going to play this Pendlehaven. which is going to protect the elf from an Orcish Bowmaster potentially out of this 2 mana. So, and I'm going to pass from there. And since they've been kind of conspicuously holding this up for the longest time now, I'm going to shuffle away this Noble Hierarch. This time for real shuffle it away, not accidentally leave the top card on top like I have previously. Petty Theft. I think I'm going to daze this. Because I don't want them to be able to establish this 3-1 as a clock, and I'm going to put this Trop back in my hand. It would be very interesting if they Force of Willed this daze, or dazed back. I'm going to let them potentially stifle my Verdant Catacombs here, which is a bummer, but I don't even know if they're on stifle. I'm just being a little nervous. I'm going to let this Misty Rainforest resolve. And they're going to reanimate my Glistener Elf. Huh. What do I want to do about that? Do I just let them have it? So they're desperate for a blocker, is what this says to me. I've gone through 1 Legolas, because the best answer to this would be a Legolas for me. They're at 5 as well. I don't think I can fight over this. I'm also kind of inclined to draw this Noble and use this shuffle effect with my Brainstorm. So I think I'm going to let them have this. Pendelhaven plus Elf is also a much faster clock than it kind of appears. Okay. And, yep, okay, so now we're going to draw the Noble. We're going to play this Trop. And I think I'm going to Brainstorm here. They're on 2 cards in hand. Alright, we got an Invigorate. And a Daze. Invigorate would be really good here. I think I'm going to put the Daze back. I'm going to put the land back. If I attack, they're just going to block. I'm thinking I should hold out. We're going to fetch. We're going to get that Trop. We're going to play Noble. Do I attack? Make them call the bluff? No, because this is just going to continue to block. If they ever get aggressive, though. I think that's just what I have to do. I have to play to the out of drawing my Legolas to kill the elf. And get in. If I draw a second infect creature, though, I will obviously attack. I don't think I want to play the land yet. Actually, I do. Because now I can hardcast a Force of Will. No attacks. So now they can hardcast a Force of Will. They're not attacking. They're at 3 in hand. Okay. There we go. Do I go for it? If they counter it, they counter it, but they're also tapped out. Alright, so I'm going to invigorate my elf, give them 3 life. If they try to counter the invigorate with removal, I have reflexes. They can't block with Glistener Elf. They can't Petty Theft. They can't block with Brazen Borrower because it can only block flyers. I think that's it. Okay. Combat. Dress down. Awful. That's a way I lose. Because it strips the abilities given by the reflexes, including... Alright, so we're going to attack. Because we're not blocking. Now they get to take just regular 6 damage. Or they get to take 5, because I don't even have Exalted. Ugh, that's so sad. Now I can fall behind. Okay, so I need to draw Legolas again, or Ponder or something. I'm going to hold this Heath uncracked, so this way I can draw Swords, Plowshares, and still have access to Savannah. Looks like they're flooding really bad. Plow, okay. Another card that can break the stalemate. I wonder if they're hard casting Force. Sure. Might even correct to wait, but I think I just need to take every chance I have. To kind of like get this blocker out of the way. Take the cards out of their hand. Just hope that I can draw something first. Any of the other non-Glistener Elf Infect creatures would be very good here, by the way. Grief. That's fine. Yep, okay. Here's my Force. Ink Moth. Okay, that's a pretty good one. So I'm just going to play it. Gonna hope that they don't have a Wasteland or Drown in the Loch in their hand again. Ponder. That's pretty good. Then I'm just going to let the Ink Moth Nexus be a 2-turn clock. Or a 3-turn clock, sorry. Brainstorm. Did they shuffle? Chooses not to shuffle. Draws a card with Ponder. Another Brainstorming again. Okay, 3 cards in their hand. We've got 0. Okay, so they found the Wasteland. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just not gonna do anything. I don't have any cards in my hand. Did I bring in my Sylvan Library? I think no. And I might be a little too afraid to start attacking with the Grief, because my life total is still pretty high. Swamp Cycle Troll. I could have just cast it. Underground Sea. I wonder if they wanted to shuffle the Brainstorm. Ooh, okay, they are attacking. Which makes me think that they have a backup plan. In case I draw another Legolas. Ponder. Ooh, okay. So we're going to put this bottom. We're going to put... Inkmoth, Agent, Shuffle? No. So we're going to attack. I think they're going to block. Yeah, I think they're pretty heavily incentivized to block there. So we're going to do blue, green. I'm going to play Blighted Agent. Leaving the Pendlehaven up, not using it here because number one, the Exalted resolved, so I couldn't use it, but also so I can still protect against a Bowmaster. And I think I'm going to draw this Inkmoth Nexus. So this way I just have a backup infect creature because part of the problem of why I'm in this long protracted game now is I can't find another infect creature, especially to break through that stalemate. So what are we doing here? Are we going to hard cast a troll? Okay, so they're just playing another Grief to clock me back. Which is fine. I don't have cards in my hand. Okay. They can attack for 3. They can put me to 12. No blocks. I'll go to 12. They have 1 card in hand. What is it? They keep playing their lands out instead of leaving them in hand to shuffle away with Brainstorm. I've also kind of done the same, but I feel like I've played every land with intent. Okay. Okay, combat damage. Main phase, end step. We're going to draw this Inkmoth. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to enter combat. I'm going to try and put them to 7. Because I still want to try and play around an Orcish Bowmaster. Because I still think this 2-turn clock is kind of fine. We're going to play the Inkmoth, just in case, so I can attack with it next turn. This clock is much faster, though. 2 Griefs is way faster than single Grief. It kind of goes without saying, but the second Grief is just so much better than the first. Okay, what are they doing? Another Grief. Wow. Okay. So if I stop playing around Bowmaster, which I think at this point I do have to, I'm able to... actually kill them. I think this has to find Savannah as well. It's going to put me to 6. I still need the pump from this, but I guess I don't have to use the Pendlehaven if I just put them to 9 and this kills them on their own. So I go to 6. I can block, go to 9, leave them with 3, 6, 8 in play. Can Pendlehaven just to take it off the table? That opens me up to so much. And I think I have to stop playing around Pendlehaven now. Okay. I'm going to block. And I have to double block, which is awkward. so we're going to go to blocks. Okay. Block. Declare blocks. Okay. This just completely blows me out, though. If that last card is an Orcish Bowmaster and I played around it the entire game, I don't think I can play around it any longer, though, is the thing, which is why I'm playing into it. Okay. They let it resolve. So they're going to kill the Noble, I think, instead. They're going to Fatal Push the Ink Moth here. Okay. So I still have 1, 2, 3 points. Unless that is a Brazen Borrower in their hand that can block the Ink Moth. Oh, no! No! That's so frustrating. I did it to myself. Okay, anyway. Okay, we're going to animate. Are they just going to concede? Can I play this a little slow? Now that I've did that block, they can put me to 3. I can put them to 9 here. I guess, well, blocks, no blocks. They didn't have it before, so I'm going to target here because this is the worst one. Okay, so it didn't matter. And I'm not sure what any of these are. It looks like points to keep playing and whatever this button is and some boxes. All right. Well, despite all my best efforts, I was not able to throw those games away. 4-1 with Infect after not playing Legacy for, I guess, a month. I think Eternal Weekend was the last time I played. I didn't even play Infect. So, yeah, that was a good time. I really liked it. Still like Infect a lot. Really want to build it in paper. Kind of wishing I had it in paper right now so I could go play a 5K or something this coming weekend, but I just, you know, don't have the cards. Such is life when you kind of like Legacy. So this has been my first stream back. Kind of happy to be back. Really enjoying the new setup. A little difficult to get used to, but in time. And I think that's where I'm going to call it. This is thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. And I'll fix that.